Right, let's go straight to the anti-immigration rally on the weekend where One Nation leader Pauline Hanson, aside from being heckled by some counter-protesters, was praised for her political positioning on the matter. Critics, though, have warned that Hanson's theatrics will ensure the party remains one of protest rather than a party on the path to government, and that newly minted independent Barnaby Joyce risks political irrelevance if he joins her. Here to talk through some of the issues, Senior Fellow at the Menzies Research Centre, Nick Cater, and Page Research CEO, Gerard Holland. Gents, welcome. Nick, what's happening here around the edges of Pauline Hanson here to one side, obviously, and her long-standing push against the high rate of immigration? There are some moderates, some left-wing liberals who are saying, look, we had to roll over on net zero, we don't like that, and if we're to do anything about cutting immigration, over my dead body. Where do you think this is headed?
Well, I think I know where it has to head if the Liberal Party want to be faintly electable at the next election, and that has to be a strong focus on numbers, number one, and then the character of migrants, number two. I got the impression Susan Lee is going towards that point from her interview yesterday on Sky. She's talking about cutting numbers, well, she has to. And it's not just the announced numbers, of course, it's things like student visas, graduate visas, family reunion visas, all these ones that just bloat out the numbers. She has to do that, but also, as she's talking about, stronger character tests, stronger citizenship tests. Obviously, we need those. Pauline Hanson is not helping, incidentally, I don't think, with that burqa stunt last week. The burqa is not the main issue for most people. For most people in Australia, it is right now a question of numbers, which means they can't find houses. Everything becomes more expensive. Things are more difficult because of that.
I agree with you. It's not the main issue, Nick, and it certainly was a stunt. I'm not saying it wasn't a stunt. The Senate is full of stunts. But I do think it is a totemic issue for people because just like men in women's bathrooms, it's not the blokes who are under siege from women going into your bathrooms. Women look at the burqa and see dehumanisation, a loss of rights for women, and it creeps into societies. You don't need to go to the Middle East to see it because it's mostly banned in a lot of Middle Eastern countries. You see it on the streets of London and you see a change in your society. So your point there about not just the numbers of people coming, but the culture changes that we are importing. I think the burqa speaks to that culture change, and the fact that we couldn't even have a debate about it in our parliament, yet a month ago in Portugal they did, and they banned it, says that something's pretty rotten in Canberra.
You're right, Peter. That is an issue. It's an important issue, but this is a question of strategy. And you'd know that better than anybody, having won a landslide election along with Tony Abbott. It's which hill you fight on at which time. And I just know that while some people are very energised on this issue, a lot of others find it very, frankly insulting. I was speaking to somebody in the Muslim community today who's a very good fellow. He's a top bloke, and he says, it just stereotypes Muslims. It makes it look hostile to us. So why do you go there? Everybody in Australia, wherever they come from, or certainly in Sydney, is concerned about house prices and the effect on that of migrants right now. That is an issue which unifies the population.